Hi everyone, this is Bhavish, and we are back with another session of Alumni of the Week in the series. And before starting anything, if you have not subscribed us yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and also make sure to follow us on other social media platforms. We will be bringing you so much of content around the same thing. And and just to start, let me tell you a quick introduction about Zubair. So Zubair initially used to work around data analytics, started with his journey from product role only. Then later on, he converted and he started working around sales. And then he worked and he came to the community. And again, at present, he joined a stealth mode company at an product manager role as a senior product manager. And he got also the hike of 140%. And also, as I already suggested, he already have five other companies cracked. So at present, a quick zoom into your life. At present, what are you doing? Where are you right now?
So currently the life is very hunky dunky right now. Like after cracking, as you already said, after cracking 5 interviews, I'm feeling very light. Okay, because at the back of my mind, it was always a burden for me
Hmm.
to crack. Cause I recall 3 months back when
Hmm.
I resigned from my current job as a product manager, because I was very much frustrated in a sense that I was not doing justice to my nomenclature that I was defined for. So at the back of my mind, I was always thinking that let's take a chance. You have the ability. It's just that you need to close the deal and you just need to sell your story.
Yeah.
uh, that is the very fundamental of mine. And at that very moment, I recall it was it was 2 months, it was already 2 months that I was with HelloPM, with the cohort 13.
Yeah.
And it helped me a lot to gain confidence in thinking about the process, thinking about what has to be there in my product portfolio, how I need to curate my CV so that it gets cracked. Because at the initials you need to submit your CV, and the most of the rejection that happens is on the very first phase. And it totally depends upon how you are depicting yourself, how you are summarizing yourself, that yes, you are the one who they need to pick you. And
Yeah.
otherwise it's a closed story. Because on a daily basis an HR gets hundreds of mails for a product manager. But if they find you that yes, he or she can be the one, they'll surely be seeing that mail.
Okay. Awesome. So let's just zoom out for a while, and I believe let's just start from scratch, from where you started your journey. Okay, and then so yeah, a quick thing around like how you started and how you got to know about product management at first, because product management is quite a virulating term right now these days, right? Initially, back in the days, while you were working at other spaces, right? You were working on a sales upfront. So yeah, how you came about knowing product management before, and then yeah, how it all began.
So the story is a little more back from if I talk
Okay.
about. So I'm a rural management MBA, and
Okay.
being a rural management, there is the majority of the placements. If I talk about my own batch of 75, only I was the one who got recruited as a product manager, and rest all got into the NGOs and rest of the CSR facilities. But so it all happened, it was just luck by chance, I would say. I wasn't knowing anything about a product manager, but the only thing that helped me a lot at that very moment was when ICSL Lombard came for the placements, they were looking for a sales profile, and I was very much willing to, being a being a rural management, if someone is providing any opportunity, and that too
Yeah.
ICSL Lombard being a big brand, I was in a sense that let's move ahead with it. But there was one thing that was my armor during the war. That's the research paper of mine. I published 2 research paper at that during my MBA days.
Okay.
This worked out like in my favor, because the panel were like, you have already done a lot of work, and these all the research are required during the product manager role as well. So we will be handling you another round of interview, and if you crack it, you will be you'll have a flight to Mumbai for the corporate office. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and I cracked the interview. Okay, the third round. And being a role management, not having a single clue what product manager does, what what it is all about. Okay, and just graduating from Xavier's, I was like, "हाँ, ठीक है, देख लिया जाएगा." This was the strategy of mine. But yes, the thought process of being a product manager, it evolves with time. Okay, it is not on a single day you can become a product manager. It's a daily learning process, and it goes on. Today itself, if I'll say that I'm a complete product manager, no, I'm not. And if you will ask a product head whether he is a complete product manager, he'll surely be saying no.
Okay. Okay. So that's quite a way to articulate it. Okay. So like after that, like how you got switched into sales? Like we were talking backstage, we were discussing around, right? You worked while within data analytics space and sales area as well. So like how did it all go? How you came into the sales
So
arena?
it's very much on the very note that I have to close the deal well while I was giving the interview for any organization as well. You were into product, but then you switch to sales, and again you are into product, and again you want to switch. What is this happening all around?
Yeah.
So it's like at that very moment I was doing good, although being a product manager for the second year I was very much satisfied that our data work I'm doing, it is very much fine, because at that moment as well I was not very much defined to me that what a product manager does. For me, data manager was a product manager at that
Product
moment.
manager back then, like the whole
Yes.
understanding was
Yes,
same.
it was very much on the sense that service, if you are providing service to the sales team, you are a product manager. And that is somewhere the definition that is very much prevalent in the industry itself. But
Okay.
and later on, I was having some personal exigency, so and I needed an opportunity at my hometown, so I switched to sales. I got an opportunity. An alum of mine referred me to HDFC Bank, and I switched to sales at that moment. Uh, Sales is very much different. Sales is nowhere near to anything. If you want to conquer the world, you should go for sales. Okay, it's very much on the sense. So I recall myself uh, when I joined HDFC Bank, COVID happened.
Oh,
Okay, so
okay.
it was very much on the note that on the very from the first 6 months I was standing at zero target, zero achievement, and the overall target was standing in front of me. But but at the end of the day, the one thing that matters a lot is understanding the product. Whether you are a product manager or you are any sort of manager, it's very important for you to understand what the product that you are handling. And the same, I did the same. I understood the product. And second thing, if I'll say how I have cracked the 5 interviews, I'll give credit to my sales profile itself, some part of it. Reason being, it helped me understand the customer's perspective. See, when until and unless you are relating yourself to the customer, until and unless you are able to understand the needs of the customer, you will not be able to understand what you want to build. It is
Yeah.
very much whenever we are trying to go for a product research, we initiate with the sample, but for that very specific sample we need to understand it has to be from every pockets. And that is the very essence. If you are doing sales, you will get a bouquet of customers that will help you, that will curate a product. They will let you know that these are the things that they want, and it will leave you at any sort of corner that you will be like, ye bhi karna hai kya? Okay. But yes, if you are able to handle the customers, you can surely become something whatever you want to be. And at the end of 2 years, I was like, I have done a lot of much of sales, so I was like, let's switch to product. But yes, there was always a question at the back of any recruiter at that very moment itself, that you are a sales guy, why I'll be hiring you? Okay.
Hmm.
And I recall myself, first of all, convincing the consultant. Okay.
Okay.
मैम आप सीवी भेजो, वो कॉल आएगा. I had no clue. Okay. It was just a pitch, and it was
Hmm.
just a pitch. Okay.
Okay.
And it clicked. Okay, cause reason being, at the back of my mind, I was studying about. So me, at that very moment, this thing was happening, that startups were pretty much blooming. I'm talking about 19 2020, but startup has started blooming a lot. And
Hmm.
agri tech is one of the department that I am very much fond of. And on that note, I used to study a lot. I used to read who got funding, who's the founder. I used to connect them on LinkedIn. I used to have conversations with them as well. I can count on numbers that I have a lot of founders who I have connect with and have conversations with about their business models as well during my sales profile.
Okay.
And this helped me a lot to understand that there could be one more product which HDFC could develop.
Hmm.
As I was with HDFC Bank, so I pitched the product at with HDFC Bank to my senior that this could be one of the product which HDFC could look out for during in future.
Okay.
It went forward, but I was also looking forward for an opportunity into product as well. So and at that very moment, L&T Financial happened. L&T Finance was developing the same product which I was pitching with HDFC Bank.
Okay. Okay.
And this was the reason I got recruited to L&T Financial Services.
Okay.
But then the story continues the same. The organization, being the market leader in tractor finance and separating rest of the product as a tertiary product, I was opted to tractor finance, looking after the data driven segment.
Okay.
Again, Excel work started. And I was like, okay, for few months, I was like, okay, fine, let's move ahead. There, things will change. But nothing. No table was getting turned, and no leaf was getting anything dry, and I
Yeah.
myself was getting dried up. So and then I'm very much pretty much active on LinkedIn. So on that very note, I was just scrolling down for some courses, cause at the back of my mind it was like at the end of the day the market is all, the industry is very much on the same note that you as a product manager, majority of them are like service to sales. So you have to be a little different from rest of them, then only you will be seen with a lens that is a real product manager. So in that verge I started grooming myself. So first, I'm not that fond that I'll be started reading books. Okay, I'm not that book savvy. Okay,
Okay.
but you should read. Okay, on a note I'll say we should read.
Read.
Okay, yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not that one. I'll fall asleep. Okay, so instead I was just scrolling down some courses I should not name. I scrolled down quite a few, and in that note I saw Ankit's status post. In that he was like, if you are looking out for a product manager opportunity, just submit the request. We'll have a one-to-one session. I was like, this pitch is very much different than any other pitch that I have seen. Because everywhere down the line, whenever I have
Yeah.
seen a pitch, they are having a brochure, they are having just call, they are having XYZ, but they are not having anything which shows that you are interested as a with the candidate and want to have an interactive session to understand what is their perspective. That is very much important, and it is very much on the line that how you develop a product, cause you need to understand customers requirement. Okay,
Yeah.
this is the point. And I got it after 1 month of my HelloPM course that yes, this is on that same note. Okay, so
Okay.
we had a session. Okay, we had around I guess half an hour session. Although I recall the session was supposed to be for 15 minutes, but we had a discussion for half hour, me and Ankit. So I explained to him what's the scenario, how it is going, and what are my requirements, what are my aspects to the course. He was very much understandable, and he said you can hop into the board, and we'll surely be figuring out something. And if I talk about figuring out during the introduction, you have already seen the results,
Yeah.
so you can
So
understand how the things has gone.
yeah. Yeah. All right. I mean, you pretty much gave the whole overview. I was about to ask the whole question, right? What were your filters while doing the research for the courses that you were looking for?
See, frankly speaking, I was searching for jobs.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, frankly speaking, I was looking out for an opportunity at that moment itself. Okay,
Okay.
but yes, there was at the back of my mind, it was always that I have to buckle up, I have to think about some courses as well, so that I am booting up my shoes as well, so that whenever interviewer is looking at my profile, he will be looking at something good. So on that note, I was searching for something that is product manager school. There was one organization as I recall, PM school. There's another INSEAD. So there were multiple names that I recall, and I went through each and every websites. Adding to that, the when I went through a Hello PM website as well, there was not anything funky in the
Mm.
sense that when you are opting for a course. See, when I tell you, being a student, when I look out for a course, I don't go for funky things. See, it gone those days are when you are fond of oh bhai, college, oh bhai level. Now the reality check is very much important at any
Yeah.
day. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now that reality check, as I recall the websites after filling the form with Ankit itself, I went to
Yeah.
the website first of all, and I was like, what is this all about? And the resources that you have
Yeah.
helped me in understood or convinced me in a sense that when you are able to give me so much resources for free,
Hmm.
okay, what are the possibilities? What are the things that you could teach us when we will be going live?
Live. Yeah.
Okay, so there is a I mean, I have compared your website as well. I have compared your website, what you are having, what rest of the people are having, and that too I have compared with my office laptop in which half of the links are not working. Okay, but
Okay.
okay, I have to struggle with that as well. But still, I find very much generous in the sense that you provide every resources that is possible for a person to gel up as a product manager, to understand the thought process of a product manager. Very frankly speaking, the guesstimate question, the guesstimate short note that you are having, it was one of the point of view of mine to crack an interview. There was a funnel write up of yours in which how you convert a DAU to segmentation.
Yeah.
It was pretty much helpful. I mean, I'm very honest with you, and this is, if you are just running through the HelloPM website, you will earn a lot of knowledge. So when I went, so it's like I started calculating the cohort. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it was somewhere around 12 cohort, and during one cohort you have approximately around 30 to 40 students. Okay, so there will be approximately around 400 students that are from your cohort. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so on that understanding, I started searching for people that are from your cohort. Okay, and where they are placed. Okay,
Okay.
and I can tell you there were approximately 60 to 70% who are working on a very reputed organization,
Yeah.
and this helped me being a data manager at that moment.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Data became. Yeah.
yes, so this helped me on that note itself, that whether this will be feasible for me down the line or not. And
Mm.
it was like a data driven answer for me
Good.
itself, that yes, if and few, I guess I recall, they were pretty much on a stealth mode itself, and I was like, yeah, this is something on very different level that HelloPM is approaching. Because see, there are certain organizations who are providing product manager role. I can see the prominent College of India, ISB, is also providing an the option. There is IIMs, I don't recall there was one, but yes, ISB is one of the prominent organizations that is providing the education. But still, at the back of our mind, whether there will be placement or not.
So while you were, talking to Ankit, okay, uh, like what were your initial doubts? Like, what are the questions that you were looking to solve at that point of time? Because, as you suggested, your call went from 15 minutes to a half an hour.
Correct.
Okay. So
Correct.
definitely there would be some interesting questions that you must have had in your mind, right? At that point of time, you wanted to look around. So what were the questions that you were looking to get answers while you were looking to join a
See,
cohort?
it's been, I guess it's been 5 months that we had a
Yeah.
discussion over it. If, as I recall, see, initially it was an introductory session where Ankit introduced what is HelloPM,
Yeah.
what it is all about, and then I introduced myself as well, and what it is, why I'm looking forward for having a seat with HelloPM. Sorry, why I'm having looking for a seat at HelloPM.
Mm.
So it was a very well oriented session in which I was having a doubt that, see, I have been a product manager for long enough. I have been a product manager. I have done sales itself. But at the back of my mind, I'm not justifying the title. Okay. This was the most prominent question that I had with him, whether there will be an opportunity where I'm not, I know you won't be assuring. I need myself to be of that capability that I'll be a true product manager. Because I'll tell you, in a financial institution, there are n number of product managers, but the reality is they are not really working as a product manager. They are working service to sales. Okay.
Service to sales, right? Data,
Yes.
working on data.
So they are not. So if you are a product manager, you are developing a product, developing a feature. Okay. They are not. You are not providing service to sales. This is a two different things. Okay. And this is the prominent thing which he make me understood, that there are multiple types of product manager. One is technical product manager that looks out for technicality. One is functional product manager that looks after the overall functionalities of it. And the third is the service one, which is already you already are. But I need one thing. It was not an assurance, I would say, but yes, it was assurance from to myself that if I am continuing with that course, if I am building myself to that level, you will
Yeah.
be able to crack it.
Similarly, okay, one more thing that you mentioned around the portfolio, right? You need to have a bang on portfolio, right? If they don't know. So, just a quick thing around, like, first thing, how you started designing a portfolio, and what all things you included in your portfolio that helped you to get into it. Was your portfolio on some previous products, or was your portfolio for that particular company, what you were targeting for? Okay, you have done the tear down and research for this particular company or this particular industry, or it was already pre-done and for every company it was pre-designed. Okay, this is my portfolio, jam packed, and now I'm sending it to every company.
See, it was very much. I'll tell you in a sense that see, I had so I have injected in a sense that I was having around 8 case studies. Okay, eight
Okay.
case studies. Converted them into a presentation. Say, okay, and they were my project. They were my portfolio, including every aspect. I had an agri-tech startup portfolio. One case study. I had a financial. I had a loan onboarding, I had an LMS, I had one thinking about a new age startup, I had something. So it was like a bouquet of product that had everything. I mean, see, being a financial guy, I have to be segmenting around fintech industry. Okay, so on a normal understanding, if a product manager, that is a very usual term here, how we do a KYC, each and every product manager knows about it, so I don't need to include that. Okay,
Yeah.
it will be like a daily bread and butter for any organization, they'll see. But yes, if you are processing, if you are building something from scratch, that will be a wireframe on how you will be disbursing a personal loan as a
Okay.
fintech. This will be a very different approach, and I started thinking in on that parameters, normal approach. And this helped me a lot in understanding, in a sense that there were a lot of portfolios at the HelloPM website itself. Okay, and Ankit shared a few of them as well. And during our classes as well, there were a lot of assignment that could work as a portfolio itself. Okay, as
Okay.
I recall, one of my assignment that was how you could make a better revenue program for Notion. Okay,
Hmm.
Notion is in my portfolio itself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. So
So
that
it
could
was
be one plus point, right? Like while you are doing the assignment, that could act as your portfolio.
absolutely there is Slack as well. How you want to what could be the revenue generation program for Slack that is not available right now. So it was like a part and parcel for me. One way I was doing my assignment, and otherwise it was I was able to stack it to my portfolio itself.
Hmm.
And there were so and when you are going for an interview, usually on a product manager interview, it never goes on key first round, second round of interview will be there and you'll be able to crack it. It's not that easy cup of cake if you are going for a good organization. There will be assignment, there will be some testing scenario, there will be guesstimate questions, there will be questions that you will be thinking ye bhi ho sakta hai. Okay, and this has happened with me itself. I recall having one discussion with Ankit again. Ankit, with respect to this, boss, ये भी पूछ लिया. And then he answered me कि ये ऐसे answer होगा. I was like, next वाले को आने दो.
Again, now moving forward, since you already mentioned about the interview, and with so much of humbleness, you mentioned like you were not able to crack that interview.
Yeah.
But I would like to take a minute and address that point that is it after that, or like after more couple of interviews, but you cracked 5 interviews for product manager role. That in itself is a quite an achievement, like cracking those 5 to 6 interviews and getting the offer letter out of those folks. So like, again, please walk us through like what was the time and how it all started, how the whole streak started. People may have their Snapchat streak, Here you have the interview streak. How it all started? What was the how the streak went? Yeah.
So yeah, we can call it a streak. I mean, I wouldn't define it that, but yes, you gave it a right
Yeah.
word. Yeah, let's call it a streak. So it was in a sense that at the initial, as I already discussed, that on the very first month, I was giving the interview, but I was unable to crack it. Okay, see, it's not a one day approach, as I told you. You have to get to the depth of it, and you need to understand in each and every interview that what is that you're lacking. And I guess I understood that after my 30 days of interview, that what is the interview that is looking out for. There could
Yeah.
be and based upon the job description, if I read it, I was
Hmm.
able to understand what could be the possible set of questions that they are looking out for.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the possible things that they are looking out for as a product manager? What are
Hmm.
the possible aspects that they want up their product manager to be? And on that level, I started pitching myself to those organizations.
Hmm.
Curating the CV is very much important. See, one hack that could be a possibility: chat GPT. Okay, but yes, it has helped me a lot to submit as much as CV as possible,
Hmm.
and try to approach it in a sense that, and yes, you will face failure. Frankly speaking, you will face
No doubt.
failure.
Yeah.
I recall myself getting bruised, getting bullied in the sense that you don't know this, you are a product manager. I was like, okay, I didn't knew this, I can understand, but it didn't define me that if I'm not doing this, I'm not a product manager. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't argue with that interviewer first of all, and you
True.
shouldn't
True.
do that as well. Okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, fine, I need to brush up more. Okay, I recall myself giving examples of mixed panel.
Hmm.
Okay. And the interviewer very much amazed that, okay, you are using mixed panel and you know how to use mixed panel. I said, yes, I'm not using at my organization, but I know how to use mixed panel. I have made an assignment of it as well. And I showed him the slides.
Hmm. Okay.
And
Okay.
he was very much impressed.
Were these five interviews that you cracked, okay, for the product role, were they into similar industry or similar type of product, or all were like different products or different industries?
Let me recall it in a sense: AI, fintech, conservative bank, logistics. One is fintech.
Fintech. So hence prove that you are not
And as I have not joined any organization right now, okay,
Mhm.
I have three more interviews in line.
in okay. What are the three
Huh.
questions that you faced, like three or even two? The
Let's take it this way. One was the introductory part, one is the skill set that you have, and one is, as you have worked in the product management domain, what are the problems that you have faced? Okay.
okay,
And one more question, as I recall, how is your day to day looks like?
in your previous in organization or regular day?
Regular. I mean, how do you work? How is your day-to-day things like? Because normally they want to understand that how is your work today, day to day, and how you are handling a challenging scenario.
So what is your quick hack around, 3 days prior to the interview? How you prepare yourself for the interview? What any specific approach or any specific things that you uh, prepare for?
See how I try to do whenever I get a call that interview is supposed to be scheduled. I try to have a 2 days gap. Okay, 2 days gap, and I try not to have more than one interview. Okay, in a
Okay.
day. Okay, because it has happened to me initially that I'm giving one interview at 11 o'clock, and then there's another interview at 3 o'clock. It's a buzz for you because you are unable to cope up with any of the interview. Okay.
Yep.
You are not able to make up your mind for the first interview, and you will not be able to crack the second one as well. Okay, on that note, because you will be thinking about the result for the first one when you will be giving the interview for the second one. Okay, so you have to be very much you have to give time to yourself to prepare for that interview. First, when you get the interview link, look out for the guy who's interviewing you. He must be product head, he will be senior vice president or a founder or XYZ, where he have studied. So
Yeah.
you need to be frightened it's not necessarily you need to be frightened, but yes, initially I got frightened as well, because
Okay.
looking out to a profile who is having 20 years of product experience. And I recall product head, a product manager was not relevant at that moment. He was also a service to sales at that moment, I
Okay.
guess. Well,
Okay.
there could be a possibility. But yes, first of all, understanding who could be, who is your interviewer, how his thought process can be. I mean, you have to just have an idea about, check out his recent post, because this will gain some perspective in a sense that what is his recent discussion, and when you are having a initial discussion, you could push something about it, and he will find that the guy is very much interactive and has done some secondary research about it,
Yeah.
and this helps a lot.
You have mentioned about the tactics that they can use. You mentioned about how to prepare. But what will your personal advice would be? Okay, for all the aspiring product managers, what your advice would be, like, right, for all the aspiring product managers. So what do you would suggest? Do these things, like these one, two, three things that you do, and you are done. You know, 50% or 50 to 60%. What Pareto principle says, like 80-20 principle rule is there. Like 80% of the outcome comes from the 20% of the action. So what are those 20% things that will help them to crack the major 60, 70, or maybe 80% of the things?
Correct. So it's very much. I recall our one of my favorite cricketer, Rahul Dravid. Uh,
Okay.
See, do your basics right. Okay. See, if you are having your basics correct, rest everything will come at your place. Okay.
Okay.
And don't lose yourself. Don't lose hope. Lose hope in a sense that, see, there could be an organization where you don't fit in. There will be an organization where you will be surely a fit. Okay. It's just that you need to hop in that boat. Before that, you need to struggle a lot.
Okay.
Struggling is very important. Okay. Struggling will help you taste the will let you know the real taste of the blood of success.
Like if you were to right now at this point, if you were to start your journey again from scratch for aspiring as an aspiring product manager, if you were to start your journey from scratch, what
Hmm.
are the things that you will do and the steps that you will take right now?
See, one thing for sure is understanding more technicalities, learning more tech things. Okay. See, it's very much important to understand how the technical approach is. Okay, because at the end of the day, it matters the most. Okay.
Yeah.
Second thing will be, I'll try to be to take my first 2 years in which I was a data manager. I try to convert myself into a product manager again.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And thirdly, being more vocal about the things that are okay, so that I am able to pitch myself. And fourthly, looking forward to something more challenging at the initial part of my career, so that it scratches my mind. So I, at any interview, when they say, why do you want to join the organization? I I have the same answer, and it is very much helpful. I want to join your organization. Reason being, it's a platform in which I find myself scratching my head more than what I'm doing right now. And
Okay.
and and I am at that phase of my career in which I have to scratch a lot more. Okay, so that I am able to make my career.
Do you think anywhere having an MBA degree really played a role as of now, if you see back? I mean, say down the line 4 months back and right now, did anywhere MBA
I
played
don't think so. It was very much relevant. Okay, I didn't find MBA as my launchpad. Okay, I
a...
didn't felt MBA was a launchpad. It's just a degree. If you, I mean, somewhere down the line, yes, it did give me my first job.
Hmm.
But yes, if I'll tell you about my product experience from past 5 years, or the phase that I had from past 4 months, I don't think so. It was my MBA that got to the opportunities. It was the experience. It was the past 4 months, 3 months struggle, the build up of it, the strategies, the thought process, the belonging that came up with it was responsible
Yeah.
for it. And it's like luck favors the brave.
So thank you so much, Zubair. On that note, thank you so much for joining us on this session of Alumni of the Week. And we really look forward to hosting you again on other questions that community has. And definitely you can come, and you are there in our community. So people who are the part of HelloPM, you guys can reach out to Zubair and have your queries answered. And if you're watching this channel and video for the first time, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And we'll try to bring more such series and more such sessions around our alumni of the week. This time we had Zubair. Thank you, Zubair, joining
Thank
us.
you.